Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Lulu Karimah. I'm a student of Muhammadiyah Professor Dr. Hamka University, majoring in biology education in the third semester. In this opportunity, I would like to present you about Mendelian patterns of inheritance. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Next. So, table of contents. First, I will explain to you about history of inheritance Mendel. Second, I will explain to you about Mendel's experimental technique use and its result. Third, I will explain about Mendel's first law. And last, I will explain about Mendel's second law. Next. Heredity is the inheritance of traits from parent to offspring. The offspring resulting from inter-individual mating has a phenotypic and genotypic ratio that follows certain rules. These rules of inheritance are called patterns of heredity. Heredity is a discussion of the branch of biology, namely genetics. Heredity discusses the inheritance of traits. Mendel's law is the law of heredity which explains the principles of inheritance in organisms. Next. Okay, Mendel's theory is supported by several biology such as Hugo de Vries from Holland, Eric von Schmarck from Austria, and Karl Ecorens from Germany. Next. Okay, Gregor John Mendel. Gregor John Mendel is a scientist and a monk who achieved posthumous fame as the new founder of the science of genetics. Mendel showed that the biological inheritance of certain genes of traits in the pea plants follow certain patterns, now referred to as Mendel's law. So, he is appropriately called as father of genetics. Next. Second, Mendel's experiment. So we can see first Mendel removed the Mendel removed the stamens from a purple flower, and then he transferred pollen from the stamens of a white flower to the carpel of the purple flower, and then the pollinated carpel matured into a pod, and last, finally, Mendel planted seeds from the pod. Okay, next, the result of experimental. You can see that the experimental P generation that purple flowers and white flowers is a cross that they are true breeding parents and their produce F1 generation. All plants have purple flowers. Fertilizations among F1 plants. F1 across F1. So F2 generation is 3 per 4 of plants have purple flowers and 1 per 4 of plants have white flowers. Okay. The explanation that genetics make up alleles purple flowers across white flowers has gametes all P flowers purple and all P white flowers. So F1 generation, its result is all purple flowers. That gamete has half of P purple flowers and half of P white flowers. Fertilizations and F2 generation, its result is phenotypic ratio with 3 purple to 1 white ratio, and genotypic ratio is 1 pp to 2 pp to 1 pp ratio. Next. Third, Mendel's first law, segregation. At the time of gamete formation, alleles are randomly separated. Next. Mendel monohybrid experiment between round seeds with wrinkled seeds. Mendel's first law is obtained from the result of monohybrid marriage, which is a cross with one different characteristic. Mendel made a cross between round pea plants and wrinkled pea plants. The result was that all of F1 offspring were round pea plants. Next, crosses between F1 descendants are carried out to get F2 offspring. In F2 offspring, the phenotypic ratio was about 3 3 round seeds to 1 wrinkled seed. Mendel concluded that at the time of gamete formation, there was a free separation of the gene pairs contained by the parent so that each gamete obtained one gene from the allele. For example, parent BB F1 produced gametes B and B. Then there is a marriage between the male and female parents. This caused gametes B and B to combine randomly. Thus, F2 is produced with a phenotypic ratio of 3 to 1. So, important conclusions from monohybrid marriage. 1. All F1 individuals have the same characteristic. 2. If fully dominant, F1 individuals have the phenotype of their dominant parent. 3. When the heterozygous F1 individuals form gametes, allele separation occurs so that the gamete only has one allele. And 4. If dominance is fully visible, monohybrid mating results in offspring that show a phenotypic ratio of 3 to 1 and show a genotypic ratio of 1 to 2 to 1. So next, the last part, Mendel's second law, independent assortment. Next, Mendel used a cross with two different properties or called a dihybrid cross. Mendel used two different properties of the pea plant, namely the shape and color of the seeds. By Mendel, the round yellow pea plant is crossed with the crinkled green pea plant. As a result, all F1 offspring were round yellow peas. In F1 inter-individual crosses, 16 gene combinations were obtained with 4 phenotypes, namely yellow round phenotypes, yellow round peas, green round seeds, yellow wrinkled seeds, and green wrinkled seeds. Next, deviations from Mendel's law. Mendel's pseudo-deviation is a cross that produces F2 with a phenotype that doesn't seem to follow the 3 to 1 ratio or 9 to 3 to 3 to 1 pattern. Mendel's pseudo-deviations are caused by interactions between genes or between alleles. The apparent deviations of Mendel's principles can be atavism, complementary, polymere, epistasis, hypostasis, and cryptomere. Next. Okay, so we have come to the end of this presentation. I hope this discussion of the material is useful for all of us. Thank you for watching this video and your participation. Goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.